Alright, so just to recap the following four games, since this is going to be the finale of this five-part series. The first game, Dr. Wily's Revenge. It had some elements of the console games. It was overall a solid experience, if a little short. It took some liberties where it needed to, but it remained mostly faithful. The second game, Mega Man 2 for Game Boy, definitely felt like it was outsourced, because it was. They clearly had no idea what the fuck they were doing, but yet they still produced something that was overall charming and appealing in its own weird way. Definitely feels different, but not entirely in a bad way, sort of. The level design felt almost one-to-one with the console games. Not necessarily in the feel of the game, but at least in the set pieces. Mega Man 3 for Game Boy really followed the console games, trying to be as close to it as it could, including the damage output that a lot of enemies did. The liberties that it did take made the game more obnoxious, if you will, and overall, it's probably the most frustrating one in the series, and not just the Game Boy series, the entire classic series, in all honesty. The fourth one brings the Game Boy series back to greatness. It has all these new elements that was incorporated, these new gimmicks, the different set pieces. It overall looks superior than the other three games before it, and it was just a solid experience all throughout. Mega Man 5, on the other hand, is a completely different matter entirely. While the first four games at least replicated to some degree the console games, this one is its own game. It's its own story, its own set of Robot Masters, which aren't even called Robot Masters, and we'll get into that in a sec. But it's not alienating to the point where it's a different game. It is just a Mega Man game. But it's definitely a worthwhile Mega Man game. Definitely by virtue of it being its own game rather than an approximation of the console games for Game Boy, pushes it into the realm of, maybe I can give it a chance, to, okay, this is definitely a game that can stand on its own right. But what pushes this even further into the must-play, in my opinion, is its level design, its very solid game structure, its story-ish for what it is. I mean, it's a Mega Man game, what do you expect? But there's an attempt here at making the story a bit more fleshed out than some of the other ones. And again, I'll get more into that as we go along. But yeah, overall, Mega Man 5 for Game Boy is, in my opinion, it is the best one, it is the most unique one, and it definitely shines brighter than all the games before it, though a special mention to 4, because again, 4 introduced its own elements unique to that game, but I think 5 just blows it completely out of the water regardless. Oh, and before I get started, you notice the background music that's been playing throughout all these intros? Yeah, these are all from Mega Man 5 for Game Boy. They're all unique tracks to this game, and we'll be getting more into that when we start. So without further ado, let's get started. Hey, guess what? Right off the bat, this one has color. I think I set my BBA settings to auto for what color is in these games, so yeah, now I think this is the Super Game Boy optimization of this game. Anyway, something out of peace. Thanks to Mega Man, Dr. Wily's fourth attempt at world domination has failed, and his name has once again faded from the minds of the citizens of the world. Really? That's kind of quick. A few months later, I won't judge. It's not like he'll make another attempt at destroying the world or whatever. Comet strikes, I guess. Mega Man roll taking... Oh, okay. So, you are the famous Mega Man. I am Terra, and you will soon be my slave. Stay back, roll. That may have hit her. I don't know. It kind of went off screen. Oh, okay. I guess my shots don't affect him. That sucks. What? My Mega Buster has no effect on him. Yeah, I need to slow down because the dialogue, you know. A few hours later, the world was attacked by warrior robots from space. Oh, look, it's like the Mega Man 4 intro. Where am I? Was that Mega Man's voice? Where am I? Dr. Light found Mega Man and equipped him with the new Mega Arm, the most powerful weapon ever devised and was never shown in the rest of the series. Why have the Stardroids come here? That's what they are called, by the way, Stardroids. Not Robot Masters, which is kind of a cool name, honestly. And yeah, that's our new weapon of the game. It's the Mega Arm. Our charge shots now turn into Mega Man's arm flying off his hand. That has some benefits over the Mega Buster, but also some drawbacks. We'll get into that. Also to point out, does Terra give you some Raditz vibes? I mean, he comes down from space. He tells... Oh, that's wonderful. He tells Mega Man that, you know, like, this planet will be destroyed. And then other people from space come down and take over. And then, like, yeah, this is reminding me of the Saiyans. And the parallels may be a little loose. They don't quite end there. We'll get to them a little later as we go through. But anyway, without further ado, let's get started on the game that the cutscene really wants to make me forget about. Starting off with a little cutscene here. Mega Man, our world is once again in chaos. I want to point out how terrible the Dr. Light impression was last time. Therefore, I will only do it worse now. The alien robots call themselves Stardroids and have conquered most of our major cities. They are constructed of alien material which render our weapons useless. Well, I have done some analysis and concluded a new weapon for you. It will replace your Super Mega Buster. That's what it's called, a Super Mega Buster. It is called the Mega Arm, and it allows you to charge energy in your fist before you fire it. This is terrible. I love it. I have also created a new assistant for you. His name is Tango. By the way, you know, more musical references. I appreciate it, you know. Got rock and roll, tango, bass, treble from Mega Man 7. Blues, just a whole bunch of them. Really appreciate it. I had a bunny once called Tango. That was years ago. I feel like this is getting off track. Let's continue. I'll enhance this item replicator to make powerful items for you. Collect as many P-chips as possible and return to my lab to exchange them for power-up items. Good rock, Mega Man. Alright, so the returning P-chips are back from the last game. And here we got the stage select. These 4 Stardroids appear from the stars. In order, we have Mars. Fuck, is this... Is this Mercury? Oh shit, now I don't remember. That's the completely, like, out-of-place Neptune, by the way. He's just, like, randomly with these other guys. Yeah, this is Venus. This is Venus. This is Mars, and so this must be Mercury. Let's go in planet order. Alright. So, starting off, just to give you an idea, the new Mega Arm fires... You can actually see Mega Man's arm is no longer with him for a sec until it returns. It's kind of a funny little detail. What's not so funny about this detail is... I can't shoot during that time. I can press B all I want, but until the arm actually returns, it prevents me from making any kind of shots. So that's why the Mega Arm can be both a blessing and a curse. Actually, don't really see what the blessing is yet. It's pretty powerful. Okay, that's a good start to the game. Let's keep going. These conveyor belts right here, they seem to change. I wouldn't say randomly. It seems like they have like a set time limit for how long they stay in one cycle, or whatever you call it, in one direction. And then they seem to just change. I don't know what the timing is, though, so I'm just going to play it safe every time I encounter a conveyor belt in this level. I'm just going to wait for it to change, and then I'm going to go. Turns out I didn't make that jump and I die again. That'd be amazing. Alright, so there are a few items this time that we can collect with P-chips other than the energy balancer that are like permanent items. When we encounter them, I'll be sure to show it off, I guess. I do appreciate this use of the colors on what again I can assume is the Super Game Boy. It might be the Game Boy Color, like it might be optimized for the Game Boy Color, but still playable on the original Game Boy. Of course, the 3DS eShop version will not give you this color. It will only give you the black and white, or the puke green black and white that, you know, the real Game Boy users will remember. Ugh. That is disgusting. I'm sorry, I just hate the actual display colors on the original Game Boy. They look absolutely terrible, and I will be sure to let my opinion be known about that. So yeah, already we got some unique enemies right here. Oh, these guys, they smash the ground and cause rocks to fly out. At some points in the game, the gravity will be shifted, so the rocks will fly higher or lower. It's a really cool concept, and we'll get to that, which is another reason why I think this game is so unique and just has these different like interactions with stuff that you wouldn't think of. That's definitely one of the best features of a lot of games like this, where they introduce these different gimmicks, but on top of the gimmicks being, you know, cool ideas in their own right, they interact with other gimmicks. And it makes it interesting, because now you can plan around these different objects working with each other, and possibly use it to your advantage, or the game uses it to its advantage. These guys, they just have long range, which means you'd have to plan around those shots. Not that they do that much damage, but regardless. You want to hit Mercury as soon as you can, because as soon as he hits you with that, I forget what all these weapons are called. He takes either a P-chip or like some health away from you, I think. I don't know. I think it's just P-chips, which is really annoying. I think you can retrieve them if you're fast enough, if you touch them while they're in the air. But I can't confirm this because I'm too busy fighting. I'm actually curious now, actually. You know what? Alright, I currently have... How many P-chips? 4. Good. It's definitely good use of my time. Alright, on the next hit, I'm not going to hit him. I'm just going to... excuse me? Yeah, so you can take some... Oh, okay, I think they fly off screen. So yeah, he's taking some shit away from me. And yeah, this fight's pretty basic, honestly. I love that extra tss at the end of the victory music, which is pretty good victory music while we're on the topic. We got another cool cutscene of Mega Man's Buster getting charged up with the new weapon. You got... was this a Grab Buster, I think? Yeah, that's what it is. Already, the Grab Buster is pretty damn broken. I'll show it off in the... I'll be sure to... that was a good burp. I'll be sure to show off the different weapons capabilities as we go throughout this game, because, like, you know, these aren't just the console weapons, except slightly different. So, Mercury, the Grab Buster. It heals you. That's all I can say about that. It heals you. It's broken as hell. But it's an amazing weapon, really. It doesn't do a huge amount of damage, actually. I think it's about as much as a regular Buster. Possibly. I can't confirm that, though, because I haven't done enough testing with it. In fact, I'll admit, I don't do a ton of testing with a lot of these weapons. Even in the actual games. In fact, if someone had pointed it out, I wouldn't know that the Spark Shock was one of the worst weapons in the series, let alone Mega Man 3. Yeah. Those crabs right there, you can just, like, mash B in a combination with, like, press, like, left, right, left, right. So those bubbles on the ceiling, the ones that will actually fall down, they're colored slightly differently than the ones that won't. See, these are a little bit darker on the outlines. It may not be as apparent, but there's a bit of a difference that you can tell in this stage. Now for the owls, just be careful of the owls, especially near the spikes. Kind of remind me of the Airman wannabes, except if I must admit, they not only look cooler, but they're more interesting. So, what you saw me collect there, I don't know if I showed this off last time, or if it existed last time, because I honestly can't remember. 'Cause I don't use them. Let me get rid of these guys first. Ooh, probably want that. I collected a small bit of an E-Tank. I can't use it yet, but when I collect 4, it turns into a full E-Tank, and then I can use it. So it's really just literally a quarter E-Tank that you can't use yet. It's like you're playing Wheel of Fortune, and instead of getting, like, a full car, you get the half car thing, except now it's a quarter car, so you have to win 4 times. Only difference is they're a lot more common now than, I guess, Wheel of Fortune. Ooh. Now these bubbles on the floor, they have interesting properties. You might just jump on them a bunch and realize, wait, why are some of my jumps a lot higher than the other jumps, even when I'm holding the button down? This one will go all the way to the ceiling, basically. This one will go, like, halfway there. It all depends on which bubble you're stepping on. See, there's the bigger bubbles, and then there's a smaller bubble, sort of in the middle here. So step on the big bubbles to get a high jump. Kind of a cool concept, actually. I like that. It's a subtle little difference that it would take you a sec to notice it, but you really have to not get tripped up by it. These waterfalls right here, I guess you've noticed that for a while now. They're the main stage gimmick. A little drop of water comes down from the ceiling that lets you know that a waterfall is about to appear, and then it basically consumes everything in its path. It doesn't just push you down, by the way. It actually causes, like, everything in its path to just not exist anymore, including the ground and everything. Okay, that's probably the hardest jump, and that's not even that bad. For example, now that ground doesn't exist, and now it exists again. So you just ought to be careful. So right here, you could tell this guy up here, a little higher, is not going to fall. That guy's not going to fall. But this guy here is. There we go. Get away from me, a crab. Ooh, more hoot-hoots. Or whatever. I don't even know what these things are called. They could be called hoot-hoots for all I know, you know? Like, the names in a lot of these games for the enemies are really weird. These don't actually have any collision, they're just for decoration. And it's time for the Venus fight. Basically, he'll just walk back and forth until you shoot at him, mostly. And by back and forth, I actually mean towards you exclusively. So you're going to want to shoot those bubbles. Alright, I could... yeah. Well, I tried. I guess while I'm fighting this guy, did everyone get the new Nintendo... not the Nintendo Direct, the Pokemon Direct, I guess? That had some interesting features. So far, I'm glad they didn't spoil as much as they did with Sun and Moon. Because, yeah, they just spoiled those games rotten before the games even came out, and then people are like, okay, well, what is there to still find? It's like, yeah, but the story, I guess, is still there. Well, you know, at least it seems like there's still a lot more to discover, because that's what these games are about. They're about discovery and finding interesting crap. Did I mention that I beat Venus? We got bubbles that hang along the ceiling. Sprite Flicker, yeah, let's go. Bubble Bomb, that's a great weapon. And Rush Coil. We don't get that from the start, mind you. I don't think we got that in the last game or two either from the start, but regardless. I seem to say that a lot in these games. Regardless. Anyway, there's no Earth. I mean, there's Terra, but, like, he's later. He doesn't count as one of the Stardroids. So in terms of planet order, let's go to Mars. I just want to point out that, oh yeah, I should also mention that Mars is, like, definitively the best song in this game. Have a listen. It might sound a little melancholy at first, which is one of the reasons I like it, but does it pick up about halfway through? Just want to touch these guys and run, because you don't want to get smashed into the spikes. You might have noticed these monkeys right here. Getting out of the musical phase of this, I guess the obligatory musical phase of this version of this part of the Mega Man Game Boy Pentalogy. Because every time there's been at least one moment where I've said, "Oh, appreciate the music." I think, yeah, definitely. Like, in some capacity, I've said that. Maybe except for the third one. I don't think I did it during the third one. Oh, I'm like, oh, the boss music, maybe? No, that was the fourth one still. Yeah, maybe I didn't do it during the third one. Maybe I need to redo it just so I can make one section where I'm like, listen to the music. Okay, that's a bit of a cheap shot, but far from the worst of the series so far. These guys right here, they flip around and they're invincible during it. Then they shoot out a ball and jump towards you. I'll make sure those monkeys don't throw their banana peels at you. Or whatever they're supposed to be. I don't know. I assume they're banana peels. By the way, those balls that guy shoots out are surprisingly sturdy. Like, deceptively so. But anyway, I guess I might as well go back on track, since I have something to talk about here. Whatever the hell battles, the Max... What are they called? Dynamax, that's what they are. Dynamax battles. I've seen people in the comments just say, oh, it's like kaiju battles, which... I don't know, I'm gonna be honest. They just seem like this game's gimmick. I don't know. Personally, I think that, like, having the option to Dynamax any Pokemon just seems a little odd. Because I don't know, I just feel like that's gonna be, like, you're gonna be able to just spam that every time you want. I could be wrong, though, because they did say, like, oh, the gym leaders, they're, in a place where, you know, the Dynamax is possible, so maybe it's not possible everywhere. Before I fight Mars, give me a second. You know, all I can say is, I'm glad we at least got one interruption throughout this entire series. I am so happy about that. You have no idea. Alright, it's time for the Mars fight. It's time to just spam, fight spam with spam. And, yeah, almost died. Luckily, he's so quick to fight that half of his moves don't even come into fruition. Like, he charges them up for way too long. Regardless, though, I gotta stop saying regardless, though, because that's like my word of the playthrough. Word of the series playthrough. So now we get the big missiles. Which is definitely cooler than the little spam buster thing that he had. Photon missile. Alright, let's see how many P-chips I have. 88. Alright, so right here, we have the two Mega Arm upgrades. And while we're at it, what else do we have? The 140 P-chips for the energy balancer. So the CL, the Mega Arm, can grab, I guess, the Claw Grabber. The Claw Grabber. So that's gonna be 100. I'm gonna sneeze. I need to make damn sure that I don't dab while sneezing. It's very important. Alright, a power up for the Mega Arm. You can collect items from far away. 90. Oh, just a little short of 90. Oh, by the way, this game has S-tanks, as well as W-tanks, and the little E-tanks in the shop. That's cute. Alright, one last one to go. So, throughout the planets inside the asteroid belt, so we have Mercury, Venus, and Mars. We don't have Earth, but regardless, the other planet you'd think would maybe, I don't know, Jupiter, because that's right after. No, we got Neptune. Now there might be some context clues because of the actual color of the Robot Master stage, but you would not guess what color these Robot Masters are just by the in-game models. Like, you'd maybe think, like maybe they're a metallic color, maybe they're brownish. I don't know. You might not tell. And then, like, you look at something like Neptune, and he's all green. Which, to be fair, the stage select did show his color as, like, greenish, but, like, turquoisey, more like, but I don't know. I wouldn't see Neptune and think green, although maybe I should, because he has, like, fins and gills and stuff. Clearly the best stage for Neptune is this obnoxious, like, I don't know, is it a submarine at this point? Since he is a marine-based Robot Master, but not quite water-based. Because there's no water in this stage. I don't know, I guess we'll just say this is a submarine. It is blue, after all. So now we're inside the submarine, I guess. Oh, I guess I'm not entirely right. There is water. It's just one of those, that kind of, like, push-back water from Toadman's stage. And if you hit these pipes that are leaking, they'll cause more of a leak, I guess. Like that. Aw, that's unfortunate. That just looks exactly like Waveman's stage. I'm not really complaining, I'm just pointing it out. These guys, they're explosive. You wouldn't think they're explosive just based on... What are they supposed to be, like bumblebees with one eye? I don't know. I don't know, you really use your imagination for a lot of them. I guess this would be a submarine. Why is there so much water leaking in it? Oh! I totally forgot about this part. I mean, it's a very quick segment of water, but it exists. Got the waterfalls again, except they're not the same waterfalls at all. It's just a different kind of waterfall. You like the sound? It's not getting old, right? I'm gonna get that life. And I'm gonna get that extra bit of health. I'm gonna see if I can climb back on that ladder without having to fall down. Nice. So basically we have a repeat of Lickman's stage with the hazards we have to avoid while climbing the ladder. You know what? It's a different take on it with these I don't know, hot air geysers, but it's very similar in that way. Oh hey look, more water. Alright, so I was completely wrong about the no water thing. This stage is like slightly water-y. I don't know why that thing at the beginning was like a flying mech trying to kill me on a submarine. I mean, it was technically not on the submarine, but I was on the submarine. So someone was on the submarine. 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. Sorry, there was one less 2 than I said. So, here we have a frog. He's a frog. That's the point. He's not Toadman. He fights harder than Toadman. I won't deny that, but he is definitely frog-like. And when he smacks the ground really hard during that attack, he causes you to not be able to jump or slide that well because you keep hitting the ground and going back in the air, etc. Another unfortunate reoccurring feature of the Game Boy games, it seems. That you're not able to jump or slide. I don't know if you could tell how much I'm sniffling, because I'm probably going to edit all of it out, but, like, I hope I remember. So we got I guess, toxic water? Salt water. Oh yeah. It's salt water. Oh, would it corrode the metal or something? Did I collect any P-chips during... Okay, I did. Nice, I can get this. So now we have the one where it smacks enemies repeatedly, which is definitely the blessing aspect of the Mega Arm. Because it can hurt enemies repeatedly. Although, the consistency of which it actually manages to do this is unknown to me. I feel like sometimes it does it, and sometimes it just hits the enemy once with the arm, and then it flies back to you, even though the enemy's still alive. It's kind of weird. I don't know if you're supposed to hold B or let go of B. Maybe I could look... I have no idea even what to look up to try and understand this. That's strange. There's nothing here. Or should I say nobody here? Ah, there he is. It's been a long time, Mega Man. I didn't expect to see you in one piece again. Did I also mention that Raditz parallel is that he has long spiky hair? It's actually green, apparently. Speaking of stuff being green, like Quint. Just green. But that is of little consequence now. I will destroy you as I did before, and avenge my fallen comrades. Dark Moon. Attack! Now what could Dark Moon be? If you were guessing Yellow Devil, you're right. Because that's clearly the first thing I would guess. Takes 5 steps towards you, and then you can hit about 2 shots at him. So now, the top 2 rows of pieces will bounce down. So you just want to stay as far to the left as possible now. Not quite, actually. You want to be like maybe like a step away. Like about here and not here, kind of thing. Oh, look, it grabbed onto him. I don't know why. It just did. Unfortunately, sometimes that can cause you to not be able to charge it up again for another second, and you can lose your chance to hit something, which can be kind of annoying. Well, we got something there. Pretty basic Yellow Devil fight, just with some slight piece variations, which I'm glad exist. And there we go, that's it. I like how this thing just crumbles. And I guess there was some data left in him that caused Mega Man to jump in an attempt to try to get a weapon. Welcome back, Mega Man. I'm panicking, even though it sounds like I'm very calm. I've just discovered some shocking news. I forgot. I'm not doing the Dr. Wily voice. The Stardroids have been using the resources from Earth to create an evil, more powerful generation of robots. If they launch an all-out attack now, we'll be easily defeated. I'm not sure what to do. Dr. Light. We need to strike now. If you could transform Rush from space travel, we can try a surprise attack and wipe them out. I was about to say swipe them out. That would be pretty good. It just sounds like shoplifting, honestly. Okay, I'll start modifying Rush and give him some extra firepower. This may take some time, so why don't you go exchange your P-chips for items? Yeah, he really encourages you to get some items here. I didn't get any during that stage, if you could call it a stage, but yeah, you tried. And hurry up, Rush, let's go to space! So yeah, now we're in space. We're on different planets. We're actually on the planets that the Stardroids specify, which is kind of awesome. And we're on the further planets now, so it's even more cool. So we got Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Pluto, and yes, I'm calling it Uranus. I'm gonna start with Uranus first, actually, because you know what? I'll go in reverse order now, and there's a reason why I want to start with either Uranus or Pluto. It's definitely recommended that you start with either Uranus or Pluto. We got a little furry here. It's cute. I'm not gonna lie, that's a good persona. So this guy, once he's down like this, once his wheels are out, you're gonna want to strike him with the Mega Arm attack and then spam some shots. So get close to him as you can, just so the Mega Arm can like come back to you quickly. Those right there, those platforms, they shake for a second once you're above them or on them, and then fall. Oh, sorry, did I say above them? I meant in the same X position as them. So even if you're under them, it also counts. And even if you're over them and never touch them once, it counts. So yeah, like, just be careful. These guys, they look like magnets, but they aren't magnets. Here we got a mini-boss. A very easy mini-boss that reminds me of Quint, actually, with the way the rocks are spread out. He goes down just as quickly at this point, honestly, but you know what? Because it's a mini-boss and not, like, a built-up enemy, I can't fault it for that. Now, you might see this, this ladder right here. There's this rock here that you can't do anything with. You can't shoot it. We'll get back to that. And that's the reason that you want to either start with Pluto or Uranus first. I'm going to try to get that P-chip without going to the next screen. Oh, not quite. Bam. Just some proof of concept. If I use Rush right here, just because I'm over the piece, it makes it fall. What? And sometimes it falls just when you're, like, not quite there yet. Really depends on the piece, and it's kind of annoying, to be perfectly honest. It's definitely a cool concept, but maybe it could have been revised a little bit. Anyway, now we have to deal with a bunch of them. So either as floors or as falling ceilings. You can definitely, this is definitely a very versatile kind of hazard. In this way. I appreciate them using a hazard in more than one way. And yes, it does hurt you if you're below it, and it doesn't kill you. It's not like it doesn't crush you or anything. It just does some damage. But you definitely don't want to be under it, if you can. Or if you cannot be. I definitely think that sentence could have been revised. But that's just me, so maybe that sentence was perfect. Ow. Well, that's proof of concept right there. Ooh. And that guy, I think he just triggered them or something? I don't know, it seemed to trigger the reverse direction. Alright, well, I definitely did get a little overpowered there. Let's try take two. Okay, it seems like the rightmost one falls in that pack of three. I don't know why. Or the rightmost one falls first, and then the middle one, and then the one on the left. I don't know why, but it's fine, because it's of little concern to me, and oh, they bamboozled you. But luckily, Proto Man's here to save the day and give us letter S. Thanks, Proto Man. Ah, perfect, right before the stage ends. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but whatever. At least we have our stuff refilled, for what it's worth. I like how the charging actually kind of synced up with the music there. Now, does this have any Neon Tiger feels to you for Mega Man X3? Is it just me? I don't know. That can be kind of annoying. Especially with these shots, which are kind of hard to avoid. That was just me being careless. I was just careless. We destroyed the furries once and for all. Nah, there'll always be some. You got a fairly long cutscene. So it's a buster normally, but when you charge it up and let it go, you can dash towards things. This is the break dash, and it has a few uses later on. So you know, it's definitely not one of those dumb items. And no, you don't take damage during it like the top spin, so it actually is a lot more reasonable in that case. That right there, by the way, that like arrow thing, that just refills everything. But like, by the time you're here, you may have already either gotten a game over or exited a stage, which is when your health gets refilled anyway. Like, I don't really understand. Regardless, though, let's go to Uranus. And this stage is pretty chill. These blocks right here look fairly suspicious. I wonder if we use the break dash. Yeah, we get an E-Tank. I'm not even gonna get that one, but it's good to know that that's what the break dash does. Thanks, Seal. Carp, or whatever Seal sounds are. That's just straight up Magikarp. So this guy is supposed to be weak around the eyes, I think. But if you get a high enough jump, you can get it from down here. Monkey. Surprise monkey. Alright, oh, P-chip, nice. I'm gonna need a few more of those P-chips, huh? No. It's not very nice. If you're wondering why the Mega Arm only goes a little far sometimes instead of very far like that, that's because it's the medium charge. The highest charge goes that far, while the medium charge only goes a couple feet in front of your face. That's, I guess, another downside of the Mega Arm, is that it's not, like, it doesn't span the length of the screen. But I guess neither did Mega Man shots in Smash Bros, so, you know what? I guess it fits. I guess the Ultimate version fits, the Game Boy games, that they weren't even trying to replicate. Right here, if you look on the next page, right above the CL, or next to the energy tank slots, there's 4 crystal icons. This one here is the first one. We're gonna want to collect 4 of those. It's not like the Wily letters from the last game where you absolutely need them. Which I didn't really mind, by the way. I'm just pointing it out. But it definitely gives you a very useful item. And that's why I wanted to start with Pluto's stage first, because it's going to be hard to recover from if I go there. Because basically every okay, well, let me gather my ideas a little bit. Each of these 4 stages in the second half of the game, they have one of these crystals, and for every stage except for Uranus, it requires Uranus's weapon to get. For the remaining stage, in Uranus's stage, it requires Pluto's weapon to get. So you're always forced to revisit at least one stage. In this case, we want to only have to revisit one, if possible. And in that one, I think Pluto's stage takes the least amount of time to get to the crystal. So we'll have the least amount of backtracking. This one's crystal is a bit further in the stage, which is why it's more advantageous to go after Pluto first. Here we got Uranus. What's cool about him is I think he's immune to charge shots, as in they only do the same amount as a regular shot. You want to stay close to him because that insta-kills you right there. Not that it's not, like, telegraphed or anything, because it really is. And not that this guy isn't simple anyway. In fact, if it weren't for that insta-kill thing, he'd be, like, one of the easiest Robot Masters in the series, not even gonna lie. I don't even know how much damage he does. Like, actually, he might do a fair bit on contact, but eh. He is entirely pattern-based, no RNG whatsoever. Like, he's kind of a joke. But for it, we gain the ability to grab rocks, so I guess it's like Gutsman's weapon, kind of. You got Deep Digger. It's an interesting name. Dr. Light, I found this crystal on the planet. Better analyze it. Let me see. Seem to be energy resources. Okay, I've had enough fun. Well, this crystal seems to be the energy source used by that... I was right!
Seems to be energy resources.
Ancient civilization, something about 4 of them. You can reduce the energy consumption of your special weapons by half. It's good, you know? That's cool. Definitely a good thing to have. And it even shows up on the stage select. Very, very convenient. Let's quickly go back to Pluto's stage and collect what is ours. It's mine. It's no one else's. Ow. It's not very nice.
It's not very nice of the enemy just being there. How dare it just be there. I'm just gonna rush through half of the stage anyway. Let's get some P-chips while we're at it. I guess I'll meet you guys there. I'll speed up the footage to get there.
Oh hey look, there was like no speeding necessary because it was right here. Just gotta destroy that block. Run across here. Jump to the left. And it's ours. What I'm gonna do is make this jump. Nice. Oh, cool. You can even charge, or you can even use regular shots while you're not on top of a block. You can't charge though, but what can you do? So it's gonna take a while for me to get to the boss door again, so I'm just gonna die repeatedly.
Ooh, this guy does a lot of damage. This is good. If you're wondering why I'm not complaining about this guy doing a lot of damage and complaining about the Mega Man 3 enemies doing a lot of damage, it's because this guy's pretty easy to avoid. And nothing else does this huge amount of damage. This seems to be a weird exception.
Definitely good for backtracking. Or rather, to avoid such backtracking. Alright, so we have 2 crystals now. I guess since we're doing the planets in reverse order, it's time for Saturn. He has a cool design. I don't know. Just something about the ring looks really awesome. And here we got the gravity gimmick. You know, I'm gonna respawn that guy just to show what it does. Right here you can see the rocks that it normally flies out of its hammer. They don't go anywhere because of the amazing amount of gravity. And here, they fly off into the horizon. If there is a horizon on Saturn. I just realized it's a gas planet. There's obviously no horizon. This kind of makes me sad. That guy right there, he causes a ton of lag, but it's used as a gameplay feature to slow you down or something. Well, I'll respawn him and you'll see what I mean. Here's Saturn's crystal, pretty quick in the level here. Just watch, he lags the game, and it's treated as a feature. Okay, I'm just kidding. I think it actually does just slow down you. But I don't know if it does anything to the other enemies. Nice. There was an attempt. In fact, I think I can find a cheap way to get that. Alright, let's see if I can, you can see the Mega Arm doesn't quite reach this stuff because it doesn't grab onto things without the power-up. But later you'll see me grab onto things once or twice, possibly by accident, actually. Because there's really nothing you need to get. I don't think there's really that much in the walls in the later part of the game. For some reason, these things remind me of cats, and I can't explain why. Maybe it's like the tail. I don't know. Okay, so if I had taken damage from that thing, I can just damage boost my way in here. But since I didn't, I need to rely on Rush to get me out. I don't think I mentioned Tango. Let's show off Tango. If you charge your weapon, Tango just kind of goes into a ball and stop that. Here, Tango, good boy. Cats are better than dogs, except this cat kind of sucks. So never mind. In this case, it really doesn't mean shit. Speaking of that, the things that I think are cats, this is the tail. Like, I have no idea what they're actually called, and I'm probably gonna look that up and I'm gonna be like, that has nothing to do with anything. Excuse me while I adjust the, my headset. If I put it in a certain way, it really starts hurting my ears. Because it crushes them, and it's doing it again. Give me a sec. Alright, I'm waiting for that to start hurting again, like 2 seconds later. And have to readjust it. But this time I'm gonna suck it up. Okay. Slowdown was useful. You want to try to stay where the arrows are, because that's where the actual change in gravity is occurring. Or, if possible, try to not go near the arrows if it's more convenient to not go with the change in gravity. I can't even get these. They're too much of a narrow passage for me to even go and get them. Thank you, you die now. These weird springs. And these guys right here, they prick their heads out at you. But if you slide through them, you're so fast they don't even bother trying to get you. It's kind of funny. There's a lot of different unique enemies. This is a very, very difficult jump right here. You need to get used to your jump height here. Okay. It's another hard one. Okay. Alright, and that's the end. They throw all the hard jumps right at the end, right before the boss door, basically. Yep. You also noticed the S there, instead of the Dr. Wily logo, for the Stardroids. Also a nice little detail. There didn't have to be anything there, but you know what? You use that little extra bit for some detail that I appreciate. Ooh. This was very not optimal. When he freezes time there, you want to try to stay below him, right here. There's a bit of a blind spot for his attacks. Yeah, you don't want to grab him, which unfortunately you don't always have control over, because now your arm is stuck there. Okay. Okay, not quite. Kind of a cool idea for a boss battle. I like it. I like how when he throws the ring up, he's gonna slide, so you need to jump. You need to jump over him, but not go too high to hit the ring. Honestly, I haven't been talking about it too much. I do appreciate the different kind of special weapons they have, and the boss battles, and got the black hole. It's not even black hole bomb like in Mega Man 9, it's just black hole. And Rush Jet. Alright, so we got a weapon of mass destruction, an ability for our dog to turn into a jet, which is pretty cool, admittedly, but I'd rather have the weapon of mass destruction. Definitely a shift in quality there. Alright, we can get the energy balancer. And with 80 more chips, we'll be able to get the... okay, we need about 78 more chips? Yeah, that's it. 78 more chips. We'll be able to get the last item, the one that lets you get items. The item that lets you get more items. Let's go to Jupiter. It's another cool place. It has reduced gravity. These guys are almost exactly the same as the Crystal Joes from Mega Man 5. Except they just don't have a crystal in front of them as they're charging. That's the only difference, I would say. They also take exactly 3 shots. And they seem to charge, like... Oh, maybe they take 4 shots? Okay, 4. Alright, I was wrong. I think the crystal gels only take 3, but I also could be wrong on that, because I forgot. It's been a while. Alright, just gotta get a good vantage point for this guy. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude, this guy is being a pest. Ow. Well, on the plus side, we're getting more P-chips, I guess. This guy right here, he causes the ground right under him to be electrified, and then starts shooting shots everywhere. He has 5 different angles of shooting the shots. I guess I'll show it off. You can shoot 2 at wide angles, 1 straight down, and then 2 at lesser wide angles. This bouncing thing is like gonna immediately hit you if you don't kill it, which is kind of annoying. I'd say that's probably like one of the few cheap shots of this game. Ooh, nice. More P. More P. I am very excited about the fact that I have more P to work with. As you can see, the energy balancer is at work, and the hammer guy's shots are also going a lot higher up now that the gravity is lessened. Another cute detail. Okay. By the way, the elevation I'm at now would not prevent me from getting hit by the guy's shots that was here. I don't know. I'll call it a Star Joe. It's like the Crystal Joes, except stars. That's what it seemed like it was shooting. I don't know. Star Joe. Nice. Okay. Let's get Rush out quickly. Oh. Maybe I was wrong about the, my assessment that the thing in Dr. Life's lab was useless, because it seems as if, your energy doesn't get refilled unless you game over. But if you do game over, then it really doesn't matter. Like maybe your weapon energy. Eek. It seemed like Rush was like... I don't think I used Rush until just then. And then it caused, you know, like, his weapon energy was like halfway drained. Back to the outside. This stage also has a bit of a weird gimmick that you probably wouldn't expect right here at the end. It has multiple pathways. I mean, some of the other stages, I think 1 or 2, had multiple pathways. But actually, did they yet? I don't think so. It's the first stage that did that so far. So right now we can go to the right, but if we climb up this ladder and climb back down, suddenly the right's blocked off and we can go down. I don't know why. Actually, if we go up here, we don't get the other crystal yet. The other crystal's actually on the lower path. It's good that we got the lower path in that case. See, there's an item right here, and which way? Every which way. I guess another difference between this guy and the Crystal Joes is you can't slide under his shots. And I think this is permanent now. Like, until I die again, the bottom path is always unlocked and the right path is always closed. I think. I don't think there's a way you can reverse it. Unless you die. So going here, this is the final crystal, which once again takes Uranus' weapon. Meaning that... I hope I don't run out of energy here. Okay, not quite. Just barely. Balls. This ball. Specifically one ball. Yeah, I need to slide under that. I'm just a little too high for it to not hit me, and wow, that was the last jump of the level. That was excellent. I'll meet you right at the boss door. You know what? You know what? This is a good opportunity to show the upper path. Just remember, if you want to get all the crystals, you need to take the lower path at least once, you know, just to visit it. But... ah, okay, I'm glad I didn't die there. Okay. Alright, I'm being really reckless right now. Here we go. The right path. It really doesn't matter which path you take, they both lead you to the boss, but again, just one of them has a collectible, the other one doesn't. In fact, it seems like this is the same room except later down the level. Yeah, it looked like they basically the bottom path just had like one extra room, and this is paradoxical level structure, it seems. Those rooms do not line up at all if this is the same boss room. For the sake of the architecture of the level. So yeah, Jupiter's pattern is pretty easy. He just fires straight down, and then fires those 4 shots, which admittedly are like the only things that could really realistically hurt you. Okay, I missed. That's another thing that could realistically hurt you. Because now you have to wait an extra cycle. Oh no, how terrible. And there we go. I guess I forgot to mention that this place is, like, icy. But does that really matter? I don't know. Like, there's very few parts of the stage that really matter of the fact that it's icy. I've always been an advocate, I don't know if you'd say that, but like, I've always known that in a lot of games, the ice physics typically don't really matter, because you can just jump to like, save yourself, I guess. I don't know, that's just how I've always seen it. Alright. So, let's go to Dr. Light's lab and see if I can afford... not quite. I might have to backtrack a little bit. Alright, so now that we have all 4 crystals, there's nothing left to get in the actual stage other than more P-chips. So that's what I'm going to do. I think, okay, let's see, I have 68 right now, right? Yeah. The big ones, they're worth, how much? 76, so they're worth 8. It's kind of a weird number. Okay, I think now we have 6 more to get. Let's just, please get down lower rush. Okay. How much do these cost up here? I have 84, right? Okay, these are only worth 2. Alright, now it's time to die. Ooh, are there spikes here? There are. Goodbye, cruel world! And time to get the last item that I need to, I guess, 100% this game. Oh, wait, I forgot. There's one more item. Now that we have all 4 crystals, we can get that thing that he was talking about with the, lets you use less energy. There it is. Made from the 4 crystals you brought back, the power generator will reduce the amount of energy your special weapons use by half. No P-chips required, so you can just get it right away. That is awesome. A good reward for exploration, honestly. By the way, during the stage select, you know, pressing A will go to the stages, pressing select will go to the shop, but pressing B will switch the special stages. So now we have, you know, the ones down here, and the ones up here. It's time for the true fight against Terra, which I assume is on Neptune? I mean, what planet could be there? Because Neptune was already on Earth. Like, yeah. We'll just say this is Neptune, I don't know. You like that one note that's extending? So it's a weird glitch. I think the stage select, they didn't plan this out properly. I finally destroyed all the space stations. You fool, Mega Man. You have meddled with my plan for the last time. We could have created a new world for all robots. How can I face my master now? I must redeem myself by blowing you to pieces. Does that remind you guys of Mega Man X logic? I could have built a world for only Reploids, except robots in this case. This right here, the Spark Chaser, it's kind of hard to avoid. Does a fair bit of damage. Luckily, Terra can go down pretty quickly. He's not even using his other attack. Alright, we'll never get to see it then. He shoots like these 3 little balls that can come and like basically freeze you if it touches you, giving him room to like hit you again with something else. Alright, now that we destroyed Sigma, I mean Terra, I mean Raditz. He's just a cross between a lot of different things right now. Spark Chaser is ours, and it's awesome. Did I mention it's awesome? It's definitely the best weapon in this game. I should have defeated all the Stardroids. What? What's that star? Wait. It's moving. No. It can't be. Wily? Is he behind this? Oops, that was close. Oh yeah, definitely, you know, this game can't be too different. We need to throw Wily in there somehow. But at least the plot was cool while it lasted. Hit the jets, Rush. Let's go. Now it's time for a space level. By the way, you can charge your weapon as Rush. If you didn't know this, that's a problem. If you didn't know you could shoot at all with Rush, that's a major problem, because you're going to need to shoot. I'm pretty sure these things don't go away until you actually kill them. Like the level doesn't progress. So you need to kill these guys. How many are there? That's 3 so far? I think only 2 will ever show up at a time. It's 4. It's 5. 6. 7. 8. Okay. Game theory. Those are the spirits of the Stardroids that we killed, because there's 8 of them. Yeah, you definitely want to get avoid these lasers. They shoot up, down, and then in the middle, so, you know, stay really high up. And the camera zooms out as we take on the giant space fortress thing that Mega Man thought was a star, I guess? You can only shoot it after the laser shot out already. I'm gonna stay up here. That doesn't quite reach you if you're all the way at the top. Sweet. I don't think charging that little bit really does anything. It just does 1 damage. Ow. Sometimes the hitboxes can be a little unforgiving because they're very small. Alright, we did it. Pretty easy boss, as long as you know that you can charge your shots. It's definitely important to know. But now it's time for the final Wily stage. And yeah, the final Wily stage of the series, which it's been a fun ride. This one is pretty long, though luckily it's not like a difficult as hell marathon like the last like 2 games ago, I should say. We can get Uranus's weapon out. We can take a little shortcut here. We don't need to worry about the weapons too much since, you know, we halved their weapon usage. But honestly, this stage is pretty awesome. Not only because the music is decent, and I guess in my opinion, but are you noticing in the floors there? That looks like Anchor. Ooh, let's put this to good use. Hell yeah, dude. Cheat the system. Dude, I'm just killing it. Yeah, that's definitely Anchor. Alright, well, I guess we're done the Wily level. I was just kidding. It's not short. It's not long at all. It's actually really short. Oh yeah, we're fighting Anchor. And he's exactly like he was before, except it seems like he charges a lot longer than he did before. And he still has that annoying thing where you don't know if he's going to jump or if he's going to run the rest of the way. Ow. And the stage just keeps going. You'll see some extra pathway potential here and there. Like those two. I think most of them are just for extra weapon energy and health and stuff. Hello, Quint. You couldn't possibly be in this level too. I mean, we just fought Anchor. It's showing signs of Quint everywhere. I don't know. Could it possibly be? Oh yeah. We're going on a Mega Man Killer and Quint rush. And Quint's just as pathetic as always. But hey, he tried. I think he has even less health than he did originally. Because now he has like a proper life meter. Before it just seemed like he like had a ton of health that like he didn't even know how much he had. Kind of a weird place to put spikes there, but you know what? I'm not the level designer. Who am I kidding? I worked on this game since I was a kid, and I finally released it to the world, and it's a success, obviously. Here's some forced weapon usage. You'll need to pick between Uranus or Pluto's weapon. I'm going to use Pluto's because it takes less time. Bit of lag here. This game seems to be a little less lag heavy than the last one. So, you know what? I can appreciate. Okay, as I say this, it's lagging a fair bit. Here we got Punk. So this must mean. Oh yeah. Luckily, he telegraphs his altitude a little better. See, now he stops in place for a sec on the altitude he's about to hit you with. See, lower. Now he's gonna fire lower. And altitude. Yeah, I'm gonna let him fire at the higher altitude just to show you. Any day now. Any day now, Punk. Wow, he's not going for the higher one at all. He just doesn't want me to slide, I guess. What a nice guy. I just gave up. But take my word for it that he still goes at the higher altitude and forces you to slide. Ooh yeah, ooh yeah. Got to be careful of the moving spikes. Hey, I think he comes back as like a special stage in all the Mega Man killers, so therefore not Quince. Thank you. They come back in the in Mega Man 10 as special stage enemies, and I think Punk is edited to be a lot more fair, just like he is in this game. I think he is. I'm gonna have to look that up again, because I hope so. Luckily, we don't have to fight the harder Blade fight, the one where he has sunglasses. I'm just gonna fire repeatedly at him. But he still shoots his bigger bombs, the Blade Cracker, instead of those tiny ones that he shot normally. More side path potential. More side path potential. Nice. So, other than Terra, which is not technically a Mega Man killer, but the main enemy of this game, we just got through all the custom Robot Masters, or whatever you would want to call them, throughout the series of Mega Man Game Boy games in this one stage, and that's pretty amazing, actually. Speaking of more unique Robot Masters and enemies, this is a Mothra, you know, like Mothra. It's a boss rush. Alright, let's see if I remember all these weaknesses. Mars. Hell yeah. That's probably it. Unless it's Mercury. It's not Mercury. Alright, it's gotta be Mars then. Sweet. So, I guess we'll show off the different weaknesses! Hooray! The order in which these Robot Masters, the Stardroids, I should say, are being displayed kind of are in a weird order, but like there's not just the first half of the game and then the second half of the game like you'd probably expect, like on one side and the other, but it's not even in planet order. It's just what we got: Venus and Venus and Jupiter so far. Now what is this gonna be, like Neptune? Oh, this is Mars. I think his weakness is the Neptune? The saltwater? Yeah, it's a saltwater. You're definitely going to want to switch to your normal weapon when he does that move, because I don't think you can spam this thing really all that well. Number 4. There's not really much to talk about during the boss rush. So, where's Jupiter's? He actually hurt Saturn while he's doing his thing where he's like absorbing you in his black hole ring thing with Jupiter's weapon. So, yeah, it's convenient. Just gets the battle over with a little quicker. Neptune's weakness, I think, is the Spark Chaser. I don't really think he has a weakness other than this. Like a really good weakness. I think maybe one thing might do like 2 points of damage or something. I can't really remember. I didn't look up a damage chart. So you know what? Post a damage chart, I guess. I don't know. Uranus has Pluto's weakness. Actually, doesn't he have a weakness to his own weapon? He doesn't care about his own weapon. Okay, then. So the safest time to hit him, so he doesn't do his like little earthquake, is either when he is about to land, or when he's shooting his shot at you, like this. Nice. You really just gotta improvise that fight a little bit. You know, I can't give you any advice other than just work around it. Time to show off the, I don't think I showed off half these weapons, even though I said I would. The black hole. Does a ton of damage to him. So, yeah, you just sort of throw it in the air and then it does that. Though I guess I don't really need to show it off all that much because the demos do it for me. Thanks, game. Make my job easier. Alright, what are we left with? Pluto? I just realized, like, other than Uranus's, like, own stage, or, like, his boss room, there's no blocks anywhere. So for all we know, the Deep Digger could be the weakness of some other Robot Masters. We would never know, though. Alright, what's the last one? Yep, Grab Buster, there you go. So, if this fight wasn't already easy enough, now we just get health back for doing well. Oh no, I got hit. This health will not go away unless I exit the room, you know, when you beat the boss. Or, actually, okay, it seemed to go off screen. Not that that really matters, because this fight is already easy, but regardless. Regardless, you know, a word I like to use a lot. I don't actually need to use the Spark Chaser for the final boss this time around. They give you just 2 E-Tanks right off the bat. Nice. Actually, how many E-Tanks do I have at this point? Just those 2 and then the little one? Yeah. It's time for a Proto Man cameo, just to wish us good luck, I guess. Fill everything up, even though that last room already gave us health and all that stuff. Thanks, Proto Man. You did well for the 1 or 2 cameos you had throughout this game. Okay, well, 2, I guess. I was gonna say one of them was optional, but it wasn't, because it was in, like, unnecessary Rube in Pluto's stage. Alright, it's time for the final boss, I guess. It's a marathon of final bosses. Start out with Left Knuckle. Yes, that's what it's called. Very slow, just take it slowly and methodically. It's a pretty simple boss. Because the actual challenge is yet to come. It also might be hard to actually jump when this thing is in the ground, because it sort of causes a bit of earthquakes, as you can see. It just slowly contracts and explodes. Well, it's time for the right knuckle. Whenever it gets there. Well, whenever it gets around. So if that was Master Hand, this is Crazy Hand. It's a lot crazier, I guess. Tries to grab you, but you can just slide under it. I don't know. And then it shoots like one missile. But like, you can just also like shoot that missile. And the timing might be a little weirder on this one. I've never really gotten used to it myself. I think if you just bring it to one side and then slide back to the other, that's about as much time as it takes for it to fall. Alright, let's try this. So one side, the other side, and then back around. Yeah, something like that. Okay, well I know that next time I can get it around in with one final shot. Boom. And down the hands go. Slowly retract. And explode. Time for the body of this weapon, I guess you can call it. This monstrosity right here is the Wily Machine. It has 3 different attacks. It's immune to every weapon you have. And I think I've just shown them off right here. Let me explain this quickly. These you can just slide through. Nothing too difficult here. This guy... These spikes up here, they aren't instant kill, but, you know, you don't want to touch them. So you want to keep shooting this guy. The machine here takes 5 hits. Basically, that little timer with legs. It's a little bomb. If its number is anything other than 1, you just want to let it jump around. Basically, every time it ticks to an even number, it'll always come out as 1, 3, 5, or 7. Every time it ticks to an even number, it'll try to jump at you, so you just let it jump over you. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then on the last hit when it's about at 1, you just want to keep like shooting it towards the machine. That's the only way this machine's going to take damage whatsoever. So 3, 2, 1, boom. And now for phase 2. Once again, just remember the spikes aren't instant kill, they're just do a bit of damage. Burp. I'd recommend not firing the charge shot, because it seems like it makes it a little harder for you to just tap A slightly over these shots on the ground. Kind of a cool idea, actually, just, you know, these shots coming out of the ground, and then you have to jump over them slightly, but not too much to hit the spikes on the... Nice. I didn't even know you could do this. Okay, I'm legitimately amused by that. But now it's time for the climax of this game. Behold, Mega Man, I have awakened the ancient weapon Sunstar. Its Nova weapon will destroy you. Just like the word "you" at the bottom there. Yeah, with the rest of the solar system, with the Stardroids, now we have the ancient weapon Sunstar, based on the most powerful thing in this solar system, the sun. Oh, and it betrayed Dr. Wily. Can't contain this guy. What? You fool! How dare you attack the mighty Dr. Wily? Might want to rethink that a little bit. That mighty Dr. Wily. You are Mega Man. I am Sunstar, the Doomsday weapon. I must destroy all inferior life forms. I'm not even going to talk now. It's time for the final snipe shot. Yes! That's what I was waiting for. Jumped right into it. Alright. I don't know about you. But that was badass as hell. So, maybe I should explain that fight. Well, the first phase was kind of, like, self-explanatory. By the way, you don't get to heal in between fights. The reason I'm so low on damage, even though I took exactly one hit from him, yeah, that's just because you don't heal. But luckily, right before this fight, you get a permanent checkpoint. Like, thank God, honestly. This might be very difficult first time around. This guy doesn't have any weaknesses, by the way, and you can't use any charge shots against him. They do as much damage as a regular shot. So yeah, this guy takes the full 19 hits to kill, and has a lot of invincibility frames. Especially during the time where he fires up the stadium and causes you to fall to the next platform. Second phase was pretty self-explanatory as well. Just the shots bounce towards you, and then he starts frog jumping towards you. Third phase, if you don't hit him when he jumps in the air and wait long enough, he causes an unavoidable attack that's pretty much just like Rain Flush, and it destroys the platforms and causes you to, fall down another set of platforms and then do it again. So you definitely want to hit him to avoid damage. Now that that's over with, what I think is definitely the climax of the entire Game Boy series. It's time for the final cutscene. Are you okay? Here, grab my shoulder. I'm sure it can be fixed at Dr. Light's lab. Mega Man, why? Why are you helping me? Because we're both robots. Yes, and we were both created to fight. No, you're wrong. I only fight when I am forced to, protect the world from those who would pit machines against man. I believe humans and robots can live in peace. Anyone else getting some more Mega Man X vibes there? I only fight when I am forced to, kind of thing. Regardless. Maybe, but I will never know. My fusion reactor is going critical, and when it does, it will destroy this entire fortress. Sunstar, leave now! Mega Man reluctantly leaves Sunstar to die in this fortress, along with Wily? Question mark. Let's go, Rush. Hit the jets. Now that's how you end a video game. Just like an action movie, dude. That was amazing. Mega Man sits in the darkness of the screen and laments all the Robot Masters / Stardroids that he destroyed throughout this game. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Neptune, you're a little out of place. Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto, you're a little out of place, a little bit. Uranus, and Terra. And finally, Sunstar. Mega Man gazes in the sky, wondering, could this have been avoided? Destruction caused, etc. Mega Man X vibes all around. So, I guess final thoughts on this game. I love it. I love it. It ranks up there with some of the Mega Man console games. No joke. You can't even call this an inferior version of a Mega Man game because it's its own thing. Wily, you survived? Curse you, Mega Man. You didn't even cause the destruction this time. It was Sunstar, but whatever. This war ends now. Wait, hold on. I just okay, the ship's okay. That should be fine without that. Ooh, okay, that's a lot of pieces right there. Oh, this isn't good. Explosions. Alright, the standard Wily begging for his life thing. This time he just gets to run away. Oh, that's classic Wily. Final thoughts on this game. You can't even call this an inferior version. It's the best version of its own game. What can I say? This game's awesome. It has its own set of Robot Masters / Stardroids that were never present in any of the other games. It did its own thing. It was proud to do its own thing. It had different gimmicks. It didn't shy away from the weirder aspects of stuff. It had that random spring enemy. That's definitely worth talking about as my final thoughts. It was so unique in its own right. And what can I say? This game's... It follows the formula of the games on Game Boy, just being pretty great overall. Even Mega Man 3 that I sort of gave a hard time. I still liked all these games. And, yeah, I should have probably given my final thoughts a little earlier because the thank you for playing is already right there. I don't know, good level design, a solid bit of exploration aspect to it, all comes together for Mega Man 5 on Game Boy. It's very deceptive because it's not really the fifth game in a line of similar games in a series, unlike, Mega Man 1 through 4, which are just console counterpart approximations. It's its own thing. It should have just been called Mega Man versus the Stardroids or something. I don't know. This video's gone on long enough, so... yeah, thanks for watching. Maybe I'll get to the Mega Man X games soon, which I said I would, so... maybe I'll do something else, who knows? Depending on how I feel. Right now I'm tired, I'm gonna go take a nap.